Good evening and a really warm welcome to the class of 2029 and their parents and carers. Just a few introductions from me to start. My name's Michelle Dyer. I'm really proud to be the head of school here at both Avonbourne Girls and Avonbourne Boys Academy. Tonight you're also going to hear from Tom Kidman, who is our grammar stream coordinator, James Goldsmith, who is assistant principal for behaviour, and Nikki Barr, who is assistant principal in with responsibility for transition. So a really warm welcome to those of you joining us live this evening, but also welcome to those of you watching this later on our website. We can't wait to meet the class of 2029. Next slide, please. So first of all, a really big welcome to the Avonbourne family. And by family, not only do I mean the schools here, but Avonbourne is also part of the Bournemouth and Poole United Learning cluster, which means we have a really big extended family in this local area. The academies, if you aren't aware, are part of a multi-academy trust called United Learning. And alongside Avonbourne Boys and Avonbourne Girls, we have Glenmoor and Winton Academies, also in Bournemouth, and the Cornerstone Academy, formerly Carter Community College in Poole. United Learning, if you don't know anything about them, are the largest multi-academy trust in the UK. They have over 60 schools now across the country, and that ranges right through from primary schools, secondary schools to independent schools, and schools that run all through from early years to Key Stage 5. United Learning are a really successful multi-academy trust. Obviously, that's evident really locally by the work they've done at Glenmoor and Winton, who are really successful co-located schools and who we work very closely with. Our academies are also supported by UL in terms of a regional director who line manages the academies. That's currently Stuart Ingram, who some of you may be familiar with. He's also been the executive principal here at Avonbourne and also is the executive principal at Glenmoor and Winton. And prior to that was the principal at Glenmoor and Winton as well. My background means that I've come across from Glenmoor and Winton. I worked there prior to working at Avonbourne, and we have several members of the leadership team here and teaching staff who used to work at Glenmoor and Winton as well. So when I say family, we really are one extended family here. What being part of a big multi-academy trust offers is opportunity and support for students and staff, and really we can achieve far more as a big family than one school can do by themselves. Next slide, please. So I talked about co-location in terms of Glenmoor and Winton. We have exactly the same setup here. So what does co-location mean? It means that we are a separate girls' school and a separate boys' school. But the layout of our site means that we have two schools sat next to each other, and therefore we utilise that and teach all students across both sites. So this gives us the absolute best of both worlds. At Key Stage 3, we have complete single set teaching, but that's done in a co-educational environment. So at break time and lunch time and for extracurricular clubs, our students get to come together as they would in any mixed comprehensive setting. Our departments are co-located, so we only have one English department, one maths department, one PE department, and one senior leadership team working across both schools to ensure that both your sons or your daughters get exactly the same experience. Everybody receives exactly the same high quality teaching, exactly the same opportunities. So whilst they are still two separate schools in terms of they will have two separate Ofsted reports, two separate websites, two separate DFE numbers, we treat the students completely as one body. So really does give the best of both worlds. Next slide, please. So as some of you may be aware, the academies have gone through lots of change over the last few years. Avonbourne joined United Learning in September 2019, and we are really proud of the recent improvements we've made to the academies. However, our drive is for continuous improvement at all that we do, and I'm really excited to talk about some of the changes that we have in place for your son or daughter to take advantage of in September. So we have our grammar stream starting in September, and Mr. Kidman will give us lots more information about that in a moment. I'm also delighted to say that we're going to have computer science rejoining the curriculum from September, and all Year 7s will have the opportunity to study computer science. Drama is also coming back as a discrete subject for students, which we're really pleased about. And we're also able to offer students a choice of languages, so they will choose between French or Spanish when they arrive at the academies. This is in addition to our core offer of English, maths, science, history, geography, religious studies, PE, dance, art, music and technology, which includes product design, textiles and food technology. Next slide, please. So at Avonbourne, we are unapologetically ambitious for our students, and we really believe that they have limitless potential. We can't put a ceiling on what they can achieve because we don't know what possibly they can achieve in their futures, and we really want to foster that with students. We have a really broad and balanced curriculum, and we have really high standards and promote academic rigour, but all of this is balanced with warmth and support. At Avonbourne, we really understand that there is more to a good education than academic outcomes, and so our education for character framework sits at the heart of all that we do. We have an extensive extracurricular offer and many opportunities for students, both inside and outside of the academy, to help them become the best versions of themselves that they can be. If you haven't already come to see us at Avonbourne, we really welcome visitors to the school. Please come and see us in action. We have open mornings running on a weekly basis on both a Wednesday and a Thursday morning. But if you're not able to attend at those times, please get in contact with us. If you want to come and see us period 4 on a Friday afternoon, we're more than happy to accommodate. We would really welcome you coming and seeing what the academies can offer. So we really look forward to welcoming you and your family into the Avonbourne family and the Avonbourne community. Thank you for listening to me. I'm going to hand over now to Mr. Kidman to talk about the grammar stream.
Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to parents, carers and students of the class of 2029. My name is Tom Kidman and I'm here to talk to you today about our new and exciting grammar stream, which your child might be able to take part in from September. Next slide, please. So we've introduced a grammar stream for 3 main aims. We want to ensure that our high prior attaining students, those students who are really excelling academically in Year 6, continue to make excellent academic progress with us at Avonbourne. We also want to make this beyond just academics, so we want to develop our students' culture and character to stand out from their peers, and we want to facilitate our students to enrich the world in whatever future direction that they want to go to. Next slide, please. So in terms of what is different then about our grammar stream and what is different about being part of a grammar stream, we are very fortunate to be the only grammar stream locally partnered with the University of Southampton, our local Russell Group University and a top World's 100 university. Our students will have a tailored tutor time programme that will involve the Oxplore programme, which has been designed by the University of Oxford for high achieving Key Stage 3 students. They'll regularly be discussing and debating current affairs, and they'll have dedicated assemblies to foster a grammar stream community within the school. They'll obviously find out also a lot more about high aspiration careers, and they might be introduced to different subjects as well earlier on than what they'd normally have in their curriculum. In terms of day-to-day lessons, they will have accelerated learning and greater challenge. We'll ensure that they are really mastering and getting to grips with their curriculum, which all students study at Avonbourne. And in terms of enrichment, in addition to the vast array of activities and clubs which they can take part in, there'll be masterclass society and a talk for talk day to build students' oracy. This is also where we'll see a lot of work done as part of our partnership with the University of Southampton, with regular trips to the university and with visiting speakers coming in to see us as well. In Year 9, there will be an essay competition which will be extremely prestigious, and students will be learning about research skills and then applying that to what their chosen topics are. And then in Key Stage 4 and Key Stage 5, we're looking at developing certain pathways, whether that is a medicine pathway or a law pathway, and this will be tailored to our students' interests. And we've also got the United Learning Oxbridge Pathway programme, which is already very successful across the trust. My role as Grammar Stream coordinator is to do academic tracking and ensure that your child really is on progress to achieve the absolute best at the end of GCSEs. So my role is to ensure that they are keeping up with assessments, and if we need to put in extra support there, then I will get in contact with you as parents and ensure that we are meeting your child's needs to ensure that they continue to thrive. Next slide, please. Now, obviously, as part of the Grammar Stream, they're still part of the Avonbourne community, and for many students, they won't see a huge difference to their peers who may be in other streams. So what is the same? The subjects are still studied exactly the same, and the curriculum in terms of what the topics they'll be studying will also be similar. The research-informed teaching and learning framework, which is proven to have excellent success, will also be exactly the same. Pastoral support, they will still have their head of year, their pastoral lead, as well as all of the SEN support and anything else which they may require. And there will also be, and I see this as a big positive, stream movement. So actually, if your child isn't ready for the Grammar Stream in year 7, they might move in years 8 or 9. And equally, if actually they need a bit more support and the Grammar Stream is no longer the right environment for them, then they can move to a different stream and not have to move school and still be around all of their friends at break times and lunch times and after schools. The first half term will still be mixed ability teaching, which I know Miss Barr will go on to in more detail and talk about the transition arrangements. And we will still have the single sex teaching. So we'll have a Grammar Stream in the Girls Academy of 30 and Grammar Stream in the Boys Academy of approximately 30 as well. All of our high expectations that we have of all students continue to remain in place for Grammar Stream students. And I know you'll hear more about that from Mr. Goldsmith shortly. Next slide, please. So our Grammar Stream will be selected from the initial assessments that students do and the regular rank order assessments that students do throughout year 7, 8 and 9. And the provision will change and it will evolve as we continue to develop our ideas of the Grammar Stream here at Avonbourne. But what I really want to stress to students, parents and carers tonight is that Grammar Stream or no Grammar Stream, all students receive an excellent education here at Avonbourne. If you have any further questions about the Grammar Stream, we do now have a dedicated page on the website, or I look forward to seeing you soon at an open morning. I'm now going to hand over to Mr. Goldsmith.
Thank you, Tom. As Tom just said, my name is Mr. Goldsmith and I oversee behaviour and standards here at Avonbourne. It's a role that I'm really passionate about. I've worked at Avonbourne now for 18 years and it's a place that I really enjoy coming to work at, and that's particularly because I really enjoy working with the young people in this area. Next slide, please. And the first thing I want to talk to you about today is culture, and I define culture as the way we do things here, and we have a very specific way of doing things at Avonbourne. Our culture is known as the Avonbourne Way, and we passionately believe that teaching positive behaviours, attitudes and values are just as important for our young people as learning the academics. Young people understanding the value of hard work, about being punctual, about treating people well, and where that can take you in life, we really value, and we see this as our behaviour curriculum. And as I said, we put just as much emphasis on turning out well-rounded, productive young people as we do on turning out very well qualified young individuals. So this is something that we always adhere to. Next slide, please. Now, a lot of questions come to us when students begin about uniform and equipment, and I know for parents it's often a big cause of anxiety, but we make sure that before the year starts, a huge amount of clear guidance comes out, and that includes having a uniform check-in event where I'll make myself available for you to check any uniform, whether it meets standards, but also always engage with our excellent website, because you can always find really clear guidance there. Our aim is to have students that look professional and take pride in their appearance. You know, we really do sweat the small stuff. And we're really clear also on what equipment we expect students to bring to school with them. And all of these rules are there to ensure that students can access their learning, enjoy school and enjoy coming here with no barriers. So we check these things every morning during morning lineups, where they'll meet with their form tutor and their head of year. And this means that if there are any issues, for example, they don't have the right equipment to access their lessons, or they might have there might be an issue with uniform, that we can get these things sorted first thing in the morning so that they can go off and have a really productive and enjoyable day. Next slide, please. The next thing we're really passionate about, we do give a public guarantee on this, is that we believe that all students deserve disruption-free learning. We have very high expectations of our students when they're in class, and we want them to be stretched. And one of the things that I'm really passionate about is that having high expectations is part of caring for someone. And within the school, we do guarantee that all students in class will learn, that in lessons they will be stretched, they will be pushed hard, and they will achieve their personal goal, whatever that is. And I know Mr. Kidman alluded to that earlier, that it's not just about high expectations and high achievement in the grammar stream. We expect this in every single class. So for that reason, we do run an inclusion system and a centralised detention system, because we understand that the single factor that has the biggest impact on a student's academic success is low-level disruption. So as Miss Dyer said earlier, please come in and see us in action. Come and walk around the school, whether it be period 4 on a Friday, and have a look at the quality of the lessons. Come and see what your sons and daughters will experience, because it's something we're really proud of. And we're really proud because I passionately believe, we have got on offer some of the best teaching staff. Everything we do here is evidence informed. The teaching really is top notch, and I really do implore you to just come in and have a look at what it looks like, at what this school looks like Monday to Friday, because I'm really passionate about the product that we offer here. Next slide, please. And then the last thing I want to talk to you about is education with character. I posed the question to our students in assembly the other day, why do we come to school? And got the usual answers, which would be to learn, sir, and to learn what? To learn maths, English, science. But I think we all know that school's about much more than that. If that was the case, we could have stuck to the offer during COVID, sat at screens and took in all that academic knowledge. But school is about so much more than that. School is about showing that resilience to get up in the morning. School is about the fantastic trips that students can experience here. The history department are taking students off to Berlin this year. I know there are ski trips and there are foreign sports trips planned. All of these things are for students, not only open their eyes to the wide world out there, but also they're often the lasting memories that students have at school. And for this, because of these reasons, we do have extensive investment in sporting and artistic fields. We understand that for some students, the knowledge that they've got a football game at the end of the school, or they're part of a drama performance, is what gives them that self-esteem and that desire to work hard in lessons. So we're really passionate that school is more than just about that core offer of academic subjects, that we want students to experience the wide variety of things that we offer here, and it is extensive. So another thing you can do when you look on the website is have a look at the range of clubs and opportunities there are for our young people, and ask us about those and the students about those when you hopefully come and tour with us. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to pass you over to Nikki Barr, who's assistant principal and also leads on transition.
Good evening, everyone, and very warm welcome to our presentation this evening to parents, carers, family members, and of course the most important people, the students who will be joining our class of 2029 in September. We are very excited to meet you all and welcome you into our Avonbourne family. Next slide, please. So one of the key questions that we're always asked when parents come in and students come and have a look around our school is who is going to be there to support my son or daughter. Now, our pastoral care system aims to create an environment in which students feel happy, secure, confident, supported and valued. And there is a huge amount of people who are around the student to ensure this can happen. So all of the students will have a form tutor who they will get to know when they join us on their transition day, and obviously much better when they join us in September. There's also a Year 7 team that comprises of a head of year and a pastoral lead. Now, the head of year is going to be someone that teaches, so the pastoral lead is someone who doesn't teach and is available to support the students, and is kind of that go-to person between home and school. Myself, as the transition coordinator, I'm going to get to know the students of the class of 2029 very well over the next coming months, and really look forward to coming to see them in their setting in the primary schools, and also having them up on the transition day. I'll also be speaking to primary school teachers to get to know them even better. So I will be here as well to support them through that transition period and the whole of Year 7. We also have a wellbeing hub, we have a SENCO team and an EAL team to support students who might have English as an additional language or may have any additional special educational needs. But really, all staff are here. We always really look forward to welcoming our new cohort of students every September, so all staff will be around to support your son, daughter through their journey with us at Avonbourne Academies. Next slide, please. Now, what does a typical day look like for Year 7? Well, school starts at 8:20, and that's probably the first and biggest shock for the students joining us, as I know primary schools tend to start a little bit later. So it's definitely worth, over the summer holidays before they join us in September, getting used to those earlier starts. We do finish at 3:25, and the school buildings do open from 8 o'clock in the morning. We do have a breakfast club and a warm space available for students who sometimes might need to be dropped off a little bit earlier, or might need to drop other siblings or something like that off on the way. So our canteen opens and serves breakfast items from 7:45. So there is a warm space available for them to come in if they do need to a little bit earlier. Now, the first part of the day involves a year group lineup, and that's something Year 7 get used to very, very quickly. Now, in the lineup, students are checked for their uniform. They also check that they have everything ready for the day. And lineups are that fantastic opportunity for all of the Year 7 team to have eyes on all of our students first thing in the morning, to make sure they are prepped, they're looking well presented, they've got everything they need, so they are ready to learn the minute they go into their lessons. We have tutor time first thing in the morning. So as I mentioned, the tutor becomes a really, really important role for Year 7 and someone that they're going to get to know really well. So tutor time happens every morning, and that is where we have our assembly programme and also some retrieval practice. So we go through different revision techniques that are going to be vital for students over the next few years. We then have a 4-period day, which includes a 20-minute break and a 30-minute lunch. Now, one of the most exciting things about joining Year 7 is our canteens, and we offer a cashless catering service here at Avonbourne, which means students do not need to bring cash into school. It means that there's an online system which parents can top up, so you can see exactly as well what your son or daughter is buying at school. And the canteen serves some wonderful food. We have some sample menus available on the transition pages of our website that you can have a look through in advance should you wish. And at the moment, we end the day with our DEAR programme. Now, DEAR stands for Drop Everything and Read. So we do group collective reading, and we're currently reading some classic novels. In Year 7 at the moment, they're currently reading Jane Eyre, which I know they're very much enjoying. We then have extracurricular clubs at the end of the day, and we've got an extensive list, as mentioned by Mr. Goldsmith. Students have loved getting involved in lots of sporting, art, creative activities, and also clubs such as science and maths clubs as well. Now, they tend to go on until 4:25 unless otherwise posted. And as Mr. Goldsmith said, you can have a look at a full list of these available on our website. Next slide, please. So the first half term, as mentioned by a few of my colleagues, students will have the majority of their lessons with their tutor group. So their tutor group they'll get to know on the transition day when they join us, first of all on Friday the 1st of July, which I'll come to later on. So they'll have a majority of their lessons for the first half term in this tutor group, which means they will be mixed ability, whilst we get to know them a little bit better. Now, teachers will have, of course, a strong understanding of individual student abilities through information from the Year 6 teachers and Year 6 data. Fingers crossed those SATs are going ahead this year, as obviously we've not had that information for the last couple, but we'll have all of that data come through and all information about how your son or daughter best learns from the primary school. We'll also have the results of reading and spelling age tests that students do at the very beginning of the Year 2. Next slide, please. Now, in late September, early October, students will sit assessments in their core subjects, so in English and maths. Now, this data will be used in conjunction with their reading and spelling ages to place them into their new streams. So students will move into new classes after October half term. Now, the results of these streams will be shared with students and parents, and before the October half term, and following this there will be a parents' evening, so that parents can get to know some of the teaching staff and also understand how their sons and daughters have got on and why they've been placed into their stream. Now, students will then remain in this class up until July. So for the majority of the year, my current year 7s are in those streams at the moment, and they have been since October half term. So year 7s sit their full first round of assessments, which we call the rank order assessments, in July, ready to move them into new classes for year 8. Now, this process will of course be explained to you in a lot more detail when your sons and daughters do join us in September. But I just wanted to make you aware early on that they will be in their tutor group class for the beginning of the year up until October half term before they move into their streams. But we will have lots of information, a big collection of data, so that we get to know your sons and daughters really well before they start. Next slide, please. So what can year 6 look forward to? I went around year 7 today whilst I was on duty at break and lunchtime, asking some of our wonderful current year 7 students in the class of 2028, what can I tell year 6? What are the most exciting things about being an Avonbourne student? And I had some of these quotes come back. One of the students said they like having more independence, more variety of lessons, and they said they were particularly enjoying design, technology and dance. Another student said that they like that there are so many more people than primary school, which gives them lots of new chances to make lots of new friends. Another student mentioned that they've loved getting involved in rugby club and representing the school against other schools. And they did mention they hope they beat St Peter's tonight. And I've just had, before I came on live, the message through to say we drew this evening and St Peter's scored a last-minute try in the final play of the game. So it was 4-4. So not quite a win that student was looking for, but a fantastic draw nonetheless. And finally, another student mentioned that they like to have so many new teachers who love their subjects, and they mentioned that the teachers are so supportive and help them out when they are not sure. Next slide, please. So just finally from me, as a final close, just a few key dates and things to bear in mind over the next coming weeks and months to prepare your son or daughter for joining us in September. Now, our data packs are going to be emailed out to you. We're aiming for the week beginning the 21st of March. We're using a very new exciting programme called Applica, which means that you'll be able to input all of your son or daughter's data online. Now, we're working on this at the moment. It's a very exciting programme which will give you links to our website to read through before you consent to any information. But we're aiming to send those out on the 21st of March. Now, this correspondence will be sent out by email, so please do keep an eye on our website. We'll obviously post on there when we've sent them out so that you know whether to expect something or not, but this will all come through to your email, and we do ask you to fill that in and send it back to us by the 1st of April. Now, it's nothing onerous. It won't take you very long to complete. It's obviously key information so that we can prepare, make sure we've got all the correct contact details, addresses, things like that, ready for your son or daughter to join us. Now, as mentioned by a few of my colleagues, we do have open mornings, and we thoroughly encourage you to come in and meet us in person and come and have a look at some of our lessons. Come and see our students and doing what they're doing. Now, we have open mornings on a Wednesday and Thursday throughout this term, moving up to Easter, and there will be open mornings after the Easter break as well. Now, currently, a lot of our Wednesday slots are fully booked. We've been very, very popular, which is amazing because we're keen to get as many people through the door as possible. So I have now opened up some Thursday slots. So if you've had a look on the website already and you've not been able to book onto a Wednesday, do have a look because there's Thursday slots available now, particularly this Thursday. I know tomorrow morning we are fully booked, and for the next few Wednesdays we are fully booked, but there are lots of availability on the Thursday, so please do have a look through. Now, we're going to have some parent information evenings leading up to our transition day, which is on Friday, the 1st of July. So it's just some prior notice for you. And again, information will come out to you about this, including times and where to come. But on Monday, the 27th of June for the Boys Academy, and on Tuesday, the 28th of June for the Girls Academy, we will be welcoming parents in for a presentation so that you can prepare your son or daughter for that transition day. But before that, one I missed out was the primary visits. One of my absolute favourite parts of my job is coming out to the primary schools and meeting the students who will be joining us. Now, on my last check, we have students from around 28 different primary schools from all over the Bournemouth and Poole area. So I can't wait to come and meet you all, get to know you a little bit better, and obviously talk to you about all things Avonbourne and answer questions in their own environment, hopefully somewhere they feel very comfortable, and obviously prepare them for that transition day so they know what to expect and what it's going to look like. Following the transition day, there will be additional visits organised for selected students, and we will work with the primary school teams about those students who would benefit from that additional transition. We hope, and I said this time last year, and unfortunately COVID ruined our plans, but we hope to hold our very first Year 6 disco in July of 2022, just before we break up for the summer holidays, so students can get to know each other a little bit better following that transition day. Hopefully maybe swap numbers between the parents so there can be some organised meetups over the summer break. And the first day for the class of 2029, and believe me, it will come around a lot quicker than we think, is Monday the 5th of September. Now, the great thing about that is we only have Year 7 and Year 11 in on that day. The remainder of the school don't return to us until the Tuesday. So it'll be a great opportunity for Year 7 to really find their feet, start to get to know their surroundings as well before the other members of the school join us on the Tuesday. Next slide, please. So what do you need to do from now? Communicate with us, get involved, have a look at what we're all about. We've got those open mornings, like I said, so please do have a look at our website and do make sure you've got yourself booked onto one of those. We very much welcome your son and daughters to come along to that so they can see the school in action, but please of course speak to the primary schools before you arrange that so they know where they're going to be on those mornings. We've got our website, do please have a look at that. We've got lots of information on there and policies, including uniform behaviour, some of the things mentioned by my colleagues. The grammar stream information as well is all on there, so please do have a look through. Please follow us on social media. We are desperate to raise our social media platforms. So we've got our UL Avonbourne Academy on Facebook. We've also got our Friends of Avonbourne Academies, which is our PTA, which we are very, very keen to introduce some new members to from the parents of the class of 2029. We're on Instagram at Avonbourne Academy, and we're on Twitter as well at Avonbourne UL. So do follow us so you can get to know some of the things that we're doing here at the academies and see what some of our students are up to. And as mentioned, we've got our dedicated email address now. So if you have any queries over the next coming months, please do drop us an email. It's class of2029@avonbourneacademy.org.uk. And that will be the email address that you will get used to and use next year when your sons and daughters are in Year 7 with us. If you have any queries or concerns, or you'd like to speak to someone about anything in particular. Just to close off, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I can see we've had lots of attendees watching us live, which is fantastic. And thank you very much for those of you who are watching it at a later time on our websites. We can't wait to welcome the class of 2029 to Avonbourne Academies, and we look forward to welcoming you to our academy, hopefully very, very soon for one of those open mornings. Have a lovely evening, and thank you very much for coming. Goodbye for now.